Hi, it's employer/employees palaver and relationship part 19 on employees theft. It's an unauthorized conversion, transfer of employers' money, properties, items by employees. It could also be called internal theft, which includes embezzlement, fraudulent, stealing, pilferage. All this among others. In fact, is gross misconduct in general, and those are words, names that are used on employees every now and then. And the question is, are employees deserving of those words? Are they guilty of those names they are called? Sadly, as it may sound, more than half percent of employees are deserving of those words and are guilty of those names. I know you weren't expecting that from me, right? I'm sorry. But as disappointing as it may be, it is a bitter truth that needs to be told into the ears of some employees. We've so dealt with our employers so much that at the mention of employees, some employers run in safety for their cash, stock, customers, their belongings. Funny as it may sound, their establishment as a whole. How did we get here? Billions, millions, thousands of money are lost by employers across the world as a result of employees' theft. This has left so many employers with little or no trust for employees in general. How did we get here? That's the question. It has gotten to that stage whereby it affects both the guilty ones and the innocent ones, in as much as it affects the employers more. Employees' theft also affects employees negatively. Now let's look at how it affects the both parties. How does it affect the innocent ones negatively? In a situation whereby every employee in a given establishment is a crime suspect. What if in that situation where every employee, both the innocent and the guilty, are being referred as thieves, are being called fraudulent, are being seen as fund embezzlers? Do you know the emotional torture those innocent ones pass through whenever they are being called the above mentioned? It is a case of Ufakarotamano Ozuorono. When one finger gets stained in oil, it gets to the remaining fingers. What of in that situation where those bad eggs amongst employees, those employees that hate uncle employees, use internal theft to set innocent employees up, knowing how common internal theft is in that organization and that the employer and its management must buy to that false accusation. Just like in my case, they first tagged me fraudulent before the employer whom I found favor in his sight. Few weeks into which I was tagged fraudulent, I was falsely accused of stealing by the same people. And that was the beginning to the end of how I lost my job. And I guess my salary has been added to those people that contributed to why I lost my job, right? And those goats, I was preventing them from digging. They've started digging it. It is funny, but very painful how comfortable some people could be to carry out evil against another. How does internal theft affect the guilty ones? Those employees that have got themselves deeply into fraudulent act would always show it in any organization they found themselves. Caught and fired, moved to another organization, still with that same bad attitude of stealing, thereby dent their image and blacklist themselves. Soon, they will look for job opportunities and they won't see any, for it will be very far away from them, because every employer, every organization must have known them, him or her, to be a thief, a fraudulent employee. An employee that steals anything stealable at any given opportunity. A fund embezzler. Is that what you want for yourself as an employee? That is, if you're not arrested and legal actions taken against you by your employer. It hurts to see or say that some employees do all of this to employers and their organization intentionally. Some do it for fun. And gradually, it has become part of them. That is why they would always find it very difficult to work in another department where they don't see cash, things to steal. Some do it to prove they are smart. And these are those people that will always hail and praise themselves whenever they carry out such activity. Some do it for revenge whenever they are wronged by their employer. Some do it because they feel it's their right, that they are taking what rightfully belongs to them. And those are those people that are overworked. Those people that works very hard and are being underpaid by their employer. Some do it because the opportunity gave itself. And these are those people that are in an establishment with little or zero organizational culture, structure, or norms. That organization whereby the employer placed or misplaced his or her trust totally in one person, one employee. The employee does practically everything. Whatever he or she says stands. That is to say, some employers contribute to the reason why internal theft, employees theft, still exist in some organizations today. Some employers don't take care of their staffs. Some employers are so selfish that at the end of the month, they will automatically start beefing employees for nothing. Because it's time for payment, for salary payment. When you owe those employees so long, they will resort to stealing from you. They will resort to taking your things. Not as if you don't have the money, but you just want to show them supremacy. You just want to show them you are in control. You just want to tell them you can make them work for you and you'll still not pay them. You just want to show them you're the boss. For crying out loud, employers, some employers, we know you're the boss. After all, we call some of you Oga, Madam, boss. So why trying to prove it by not paying us our salary when it's time? Thereby pushing us into temptation of stealing. Pushing employees into that temptation of stealing. There are 1,001 reasons employees indulge in this act. But whatever your reasons are, dear employees, can we stop priding in evil? For those ones that think stealing shows smartness. Stop priding in evil. For those ones that do it intentionally, what is your gain? Why mark yourself for destruction intentionally? And for those of you that do it for revenge, learn how to speak out when you are hurt. I know some employers can be so mean and wicked. Some employers are evil, haters of good things. Some employers can pierce your heart like this and you feel so hot. And yet, they will still leave the hot iron in your heart, turning it, forgetting that you are human, that blood and water runs in your veins. I am so sorry, dear employees. But what happens to peaceful confrontation? What happened to presenting your case to that employer peacefully instead of resorting to stealing his or her things, his or her money, his or her stuffs, thereby making you a thief? And that person, that employer that is that wicked, can go to any length to humiliate you when you've been caught. So who is losing here? He will offend you. You steal his things. He will catch you and humiliate you. Who is losing? Choose dialogue. Choose peaceful confrontation and forgiveness. For those ones, those employees that engage in internal theft, thinking it's their right. Probably you are overworked and underpaid. What happens to dialogue? What happens to stating your case officially in writing? Giving them reasons why your salary, your pay should be increased instead of stealing. Whatever our reasons are for engaging in internal theft, employees theft, is not worth our respect and integrity. Can we rewrite those stories employers wrote about employees being thieves? Can we repaint those pictures that were painted about us being fraudulent and bad? Those ugly pictures they painted us to be. So can we rewrite and repaint? Yes, we can. And let's start now. Stay tuned for my next topic and see you in my next video. Love you. Let love lead. Love is the greatest. Bye for now.